just in case anyone was wondering where I, or even the people who designed Minecraft stand, I'd just like to point that out to you. Hey gang, back here at the gold farm. Yep, in the forever world. Took a couple weeks off and played some Alien Stranded Dawn over the weekends. That is a very interesting game that I feel like I can lose hours and hours and hours to. Yeah, it was kind of fun. So, but let's do some Minecraft this weekend. Wow. So I just came to the gold farm and I was cleaning it out after what I remember being, it's 2 weeks ago. I'm not built for this. What I remember being a fairly short AFK session, and there was so much rotten flesh and so much backup in the hoppers. I'm not sure that this hopper system is going to be perfect. I know that this is the one that I see a lot of people use for this type of thing where you're just dropping them. You know, you just drop them onto hoppers and you flow that into sorter. Well, if these middle hoppers that are getting most of the action fill up, which they were all the way full. If they fill up, we're going to have drops sitting on top of these hoppers, and they're not going to go anywhere. So they're going to despawn, and that's all bomb bad. But for now, it'll do. I've got about 8 stacks of gold ingots out of this for what I think was like an hour. I want to say it was 45 minutes to an hour. But everything was backed up and yeah, kind of annoying. So I am going to break ground now because the farm's done. I might make a little room here to stand in, a little AFK room, but if I can't run it for more than an hour without it backing all the way up, there's really no point. But anyway, that aside, I'm going to break ground today on the Piglin trading. Yep. I know what kind of design I'm going to do as far as the mechanics and the redstone are concerned. I just need to probably make some kind of actual design, you know, for the building. It's going to be weird designing it because it's going to go here in here in the nether. So I can't design it with anything spawnable on top because it's going to go on the roof as well. So I need to make sure that when I'm designing the structure, that everything is slab top or stair top or, you know, whatever it may be, so that it's not spawnable. So without further ado, let's get into it. First things first, while I was here, I wanted to put up some signs to show which way's which and where everything's at. Can't remember what we put out here. Is this the magma farm? Yeah. So that's magma. And then I think this is the base. This is the mega base. Yes. Oh, cool. The piglins now come with spears too. That's fun. Yep. So then if we go to left, once we get down here, you know, we split off. We'll go to the magma farm. Yep. And then the right is the base. So just a little bit of signage as I was coming back through after being off for a week or two. I was like, I don't know where anything's at. I can't remember where I built the gold farm. Luckily, so this is the main industrial, the gold farm's within visibility. So we're just going to put a sign here too that says Industrial. And then what's over there? I think this might be the end portal. So, yes. The Piglin trading farm that I use almost exclusively at this point, because so the whole ordeal, the whole issue with Piglin trading is sorting. The sorting is insane because there's I want to say like 30 different items, and the items when they're thrown from the Piglins are often in stacks up to like the ingots, the little iron ingots, the stacks are up to 40 or something. So it slows down any hopper speed. So obviously they can't be throwing at hoppers. You can do a thing where you throw them through, or you make them throw and it drops down through cobwebs and onto an ice path. And you do the sticky piston and throw the items down the ice path, and it sorts into sorters that way. You can definitely do that. But what ends up still happening is, because the quantity is so high on like very specifically the iron ingots, you need 3 to 4 sorters to handle the volume. Who has space for that? It ends up being a massive loop of sorters that you have to install just to keep up with with what bases it all, where all your speed comes from. You're keeping up with observer tick speed on a dropper, because that's what you want. So you want the observer clock pointed at a dropper. The dropper's dropping gold, and then you need enough piglins involved to pick up all that gold, right? Yep. It's not too complicated, but the speed is. So observer tick speed on a dropper dropping gold, you need 32 piglins. 32 to keep up with that. 32 freaking piglins. And what that ends up meaning is that from 32 piglins trying to keep up with that, you end up with it's a ridiculous amount of trades per minute. And you can't keep up with any hopper speed. So what I end up doing is I'll have like a little cell, right? I'll have a little spot where 16 piglins are standing here, and then I'll have another little spot over here where 16 piglins are standing. The droppers will drop, or the dropper drops gold into this spot. And then the piglins, I stand like right out here, and the piglins will throw their drops at me. With a clear inventory, I stand here, they're throwing at my back, and I'm surrounded by barrels with identifiers on it, and I'm the sorter. Yes, it's a demon sorting system. I picked up on this years ago. I think piglins were probably brand new. I think piglins were probably brand new. I picked up on this years ago. And I want to say it was either Nembon or one of the other Psycraft fellas that went through the options. Like, what can you do for piglin trading? What can you do for a sorting system? And he had 3 different options. He had the easiest, he had the mid-range, and he had the complicated. The easiest was kind of PUD, right? It didn't keep up with the observers. It was based on, I think, an etho hopper clock dropping gold at like a very slow rate to 3 or 4 piglins. And the reason he dialed that one back, the reason he throttled that one back was to keep up, or was to bring it down to hopper speed. So at that rate of like only a few piglins and the etho hopper clock going like freaking, I don't know, 20 seconds per gold ingot, you could just have hopper sorting. But man, it is slow. It is very slow. And then he said his mid-grade was do the sorting yourself, right? Have the piglins sort at you and you sort into barrels from an empty inventory. Not too bad. And then the complicated was okay, now we're going to do a sorting system that keeps up with observer clocks pushing, all the gold ingots and 32 piglins. And here's the sorting system you have to keep up with that. And it was the massive loop of ice road and like 4 to 6 slices of sorter for every item. It's insane. Now they've done a lot of work in the background over the last few years. I know Impulse. I know Impulse has a really solid sorting system. And something else that we have here that I just upgraded to, we have copper golems. I could possibly do a copper golem thing too, but I don't know. We'll see how it is. We'll just see how it is. Either way, I think I'm going to go and gather some supplies, and we're going to build the one where there's 32 piglins and I'm the sorter, and we're going to do it. All we'll need is a couple of observers and a dropper as far as redstone's concerned. And then a whole bunch of chests. That's plenty. And now, actually, I think I'm going to try and make like a little cherry grove. Let's go boop, ba-da-boop, ba-da-boop. Next up, we need some spruce. Need to catch a bunch of piglins. 32 to be exact. Can't do it in a warped forest or a crimson. Actually, I think a crimson. Crimson they might spawn. But warped forest is what we're near. If you just free cam down, we have a warped forest that we're on the edge of. We're currently over the nether waste, as you can see, because I have zombified piglins. How do I get rid of zombified piglins, but keep regular? I think what I need to do is this actually needs to be way up in the sky. Yeah, I think I'm going to tear all this down. Starting to think that I should have just walked over on the roof and jumped up, pillared up. That's the word, because this is a far away. I forget that, mobs spawn within 128 blocks, so I got to go 128 away from the gold farm, or else I'm going to get spawns in there, and they're going to take up all the spawning spaces for the piglins out here. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So let's get some spawning blocks now. I still kind of want to have like railings, because I want the ability for me to go in there and not be pushed off. And I also want the ability that other piglins won't, or the actual piglins won't get pushed off as well. So we're gonna keep that and do that. Son of a gun. Think I know what I'm doing now. Get another stack of this. So this is going to be my standing spot. We'll go ahead and give me a little area. We're going to put down a torch. And then we're going to put down some slabs. So this is where I'm going to stand. And I am far enough away that most of the zombified piglins aren't spawning. And then from here, we're going to have little 2x. Oh no, this is way too close. I can't have that. Crap. Needs to be at least 28 meters away from me. So we are at 833. So 28, right, just over 800. So let's go down this way. We're going to go to 802. And you see, obviously, I'm here, so they're spawning. But when I get back there, they won't be. So let's go to here. We're going to go that and that. And then we're going to make little spawning pads. And I got an idea on how we're going to get rid of the zombified piglins, too. Watching the top left to make sure that my my biome stays nether wastes. And then we need to put on a guardrail. And I think we want it at this level. Yeah. And I'm just going out an arbitrary number. Like I'm not building an exact size of platform here. And then one of these, I think it's this one, has what I'm looking for. Yep, an egg and a couple of trapdoors. So then we take this and we go... actually, I think I want to do it in slabs. And then we go 1, 2. that. And we go jump. And then we put the egg over there. And then what that's going to do is if any zombified piglins spawn in there, they're going to see the egg and they're going to run for it and they're going to plummet till their death. And then from here we can... I don't know how we're going to gather the piglins. I don't have gold on. That could be a problem. Do I have I got my backup chest in here. Do I have gold in there? I do. Good. Oh, crap. Oh, and that's why I changed. Yeah. Okay, so there's that. Grab my ender chest back. Don't know. So the complication is once we get a zombified or a regular piglin here, where do we take him, right? I need to get the hell out of distance of that because it's really spawning a lot of zombified piglins and I just don't need that to be running so hard. So once we do get a piglin there, how do we... The fact that nothing's spawning is making me a little nervous. But once we get a piglin there, how do we get him to the farm? We haven't even built the farm, so we're going to need to build that up and make it available to go into. I really wish I would have pillared up now because I could just pillar off the side of the pillar or bridge off the side of the pillar. And yeah, if this is 833 and that's just at 830, that should be spawnable. All this should be spawnable. This is 30 blocks away from me. Why aren't we spawning stuff in there? I think I'm way high enough for nothing to be spawning down here. Yeah, I don't see any mobs down here. Oh, are we in a... We're not in a basalt. No, I checked it. We're in nether wastes. Oh, but when I bridged off the side, did I stay in nether wastes? I think I did. Nether waste, nether waste, nether waste. Yeah, this is another waste. I don't know why that's not spawning. Am I actually just not rendering the piglins, but they're spawning in? No, there's nobody here. Weird. Oh, there we go. There's the first little set that makes sense, that we know that we're doing the right thing. So maybe we just need to go a few more blocks. So let's go ahead and get rid of the torch, get rid of that, and that. We'll bridge out another 3 or 4. Well, we'll just do the full 8. Oh, first run. Nice. Okay. I forgot that I'm going to need 32 name tags. Yep. Oh, farmers aren't going to have name tags. Who's got the name tags? 15 emeralds each. That stinks. Oh, good. I can at least trade more than 1 per. Oh, and okay. Yeah, that's probably pretty good. As long as I got them down to the end, they'll have name tags. I forgot. I was thinking glass, Glass is the one that that sometimes they don't get it at the end. So this is just a matter of, as long as I've got the guy traded up to the end, he's going to have it. So far, I've only got 2 of them, though. Oh, here we go. 3. Of course, I don't have enough emeralds to buy him out. Oh, there we go. There we go. And maybe 1 to grow on if I have the... Yep, there we go. So the idea here is the egg will draw off the zombified piglins, right? The soulfire, I remembered, will scare regular piglins. So I put it at the back corner on the other side of the platform, hoping that the soulfire will scare the piglins to run towards the platform, the lowered platform, because that's going to be where I want to gather all the piglins for the farm. I'm hoping that it'll work. I know that the lure for the zombified piglins works well. We're seeing that work right now. Zoop, zoop, and they go down and they remove themselves from the mob cap, as it were. But we've yet to see if the other thing works for the piglins. And then from there, I'm going to have to call the herd. I don't want any of the bow users. I only want sword users. And that's mostly because in case I, show up to the farm and forget that I have my diamond helm on, my diamond helmet, that the regular piglins don't just like open fire and kill me in a matter of seconds if I've got 32 bow users standing there ready to shoot me. So, yeah. So now we wait again, and now I have name tags for them. I forgot that I'm going to need to name tag them so they don't despawn. There we go. 1 spawned, and looks like the soulfire scared him into the platform that we want him on. So that was perfect. So now all we got to do is come down here, figure out, hey, are you a sword or a bow boy? Yep, you're a sword boy. So we're going to go ahead and drop a name tag on you, and he's going to stay there. And because we've dropped a name tag on him, he stays out of the, the mob cap. I'm pretty sure. I'm not positive on that. But our mob cap is freaking astronomical compared to 1 dude or even 32 dudes. I just don't know what's going on down here and why we're being screwed with the mob cap. Oh, let's see. We got 5, 6. Yep. Only 26 to go. Oof. So, while moving these piglins around, I came up with a solution to make sure that I have 16 in the first cell, and that is to trade with them. I will throw 16 ingots on the ground, exactly, and as long as all 16 are picked up, we'll move on to the second test, which is to throw 17 ingots on the ground. If 17 ingots get picked up, we use our axe and get rid of one of the piglins out of the chamber, and then do the 17 test again. Oh, easy, easy. Okay, there we go. Okay, and I think that's number 15, and we've got 1 more dude. We'll probably fill in a bunch of this with glass as well. But for now, this is what we have. So, 16 pieces of gold. There's 16. And then and then I'll go into my inventory and do the throw with the Q. So there's that. 16. Gone. Okay. Any of those? No. Nice. Perfect. So we have 16 in there. But I think we're going to call it a day there today, folks. Oof. I will get this project finished in the next episode, and we will do some trading, get a bunch of gravel, go mine for some more sand if needed, and we will finally have enough concrete to at least get a base started. Ugh. And all of you out there who knew when I was looking for gravel, for easy forms of gravel, and didn't remind me about Piglin trading, you're on the list. But that's it for today, folks. I'm Golden Demon. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.